Hello, hope you're having a great day. Today's Sunday, and after yesterday's utter failure in terms of my morning, I needed to make this morning a lot better. And I have done a lot better. Managed to actually stay up this morning rather than going back to bed, unlike yesterday. And I've just been going through my normal routine, doing my full morning routine, unlike yesterday. But also trying to keep in my mind how, taking too long to go through my morning routine can kind of undo all the good that my morning routine does. If I take 3 hours to get through my morning routine before I can actually start working, then that's going to mean that the video I want to get out this evening isn't going to come out. And then in a way, it would be better to not go through my morning routine. So I think I need to focus moving forward on, not only making sure that I do my morning routine every morning, but also, getting through it within a couple of hours or less. Otherwise, it's just going to hinder my day. It's going to hinder my progress with everything else I'm doing. My health and fitness is still the most important thing in my life, obviously, but if it's going to come at the expense of everything else, then it's not going to be sustainable, is it? And I've noticed a lot recently that, when I am going through my morning routine, between the steps of my morning routine, I'm scrolling on my phone and wasting time. And, that's not what it's about, is it? I need to live a life where I'm not spending much time that isn't working out, eating or sleeping. Everything else is kind of a waste of time. I need to get back on to a routine where I am more strict throughout my day, where I'm, spending most of my time on stuff that's productive, whether it be to do with business or whether it be to do with health and fitness. Now, I understand that these things are a balance. If you go too hard, then eventually you sort of crash. But I think a lot of the time, even that, it's just an excuse. It's just your mind giving you that excuse to crash or to, take your foot off the gas because, you've been going at it a bit hard, and, that's the justification that your mind uses. So, I think I need to just focus on doing more. Now, today I am going to visit my parents, so I really do need to sort of crack on with my work and, stay productive and get done what I need to get done before it's time to go and visit my parents. But, right now, obviously, I'm still doing my morning routine. As usual, I'm turning the camera on just before I'm about to have a workout here at home. I've already done things like walk around the block. I've written in a gratitude journal, which is something I didn't do yesterday. And, I've just had a 10-minute meditation. And, I'm going to bang out a workout here at home and then get in a cold shower as quick as I can. I'm actually going to do a bit of an arm and chest session here at home. My beautiful girlfriend Kat's still in bed, so I can't get her to pass me the bar to do chest press. So I'll do push-ups instead. Then I'll do bicep curls and triceps extensions, 2 sets of each, but I think I'll do 3 sets of the push-ups. Yep, let's get this workout done. Arms and chest are feeling very pumped. Now it's time for me to cause myself some healthy suffering in a cold shower. Then I can have my breakfast, and then I need to get busy on my MacBook. All right, so I decided not to bring out the car video today. I still got most of it edited. I still need to film an outro for it, and there's still an hour or two's worth of editing in that video. And if I did do it today, by the time I'd sort of done the thumbnail and uploaded it and stuff, and then edited yesterday's video on this channel, we would have been going to my parents really late. So I sort of decided not to bring it out today. Still made loads of progress on the edit. And now we're sort of out and about at 2:15. So, it's an hour or more to get to my parents. We are going to get some lunch somewhere around here first. So yeah, I mean, it's better that we're out and about at this time rather than going up to my parents stupidly late. It was actually my dad's birthday last Monday. It's now Sunday, of course. So going to be giving him his couple of jumpers I bought for him for his birthday and his birthday card and stuff. And actually, as well as my dad is clearly suffering with dementia or Alzheimer's or something, I don't know what the latest is in terms of him going to his doctor's appointments for that. But last sort of few times that I've spoke to him, he seemed all right, and my mum isn't complaining lately about how hard it is dealing with him. So hopefully things are better at the moment. I know these things are up and down, but apart from that, he's got something wrong with his back, and he went to the doctors about a week ago. And surprisingly, they gave him some exercises to crack on with, rather than just filling his head full of painkillers. I don't know, maybe he's already on painkillers. I don't know. So, I might be trying to get my dad to do some working out today. We'll see. All right, so I'm chatting to you now at just gone 11 p.m. and it's time for me to go to bed. But I had a really cool time around at my parents' place. My dad seems, quite happy. Not that many signs of his memory issues, but I definitely noticed that my mum she's like practically deaf, so it's really annoying for her, and I can see that she gets frustrated when she can't hear what people are saying, and then it seems like she gets a little bit snappy, but I think that's probably partly because she has to deal with my dad on a day-to-day basis. And although we go around there as visitors every now and again, and it doesn't seem that bad, my dad's just sort of happy, to see us and whatnot, my mum probably has to deal with the annoying state of my dad losing my memory on a day-to-day basis. So it's no surprise that she might be a little bit fed up with it. She's also got her own issues, she's got like bad knees and stuff, but she's been referred to the hospital for that now. The injections they've been giving her haven't been doing anything, so maybe they're going to do an operation or something, I don't know. But just sort of seeing the dynamic between the two of them, and it's just like, my dad probably does get annoying at times, but it just seems like my mum is kind of, sort of losing her rag and getting snappy on the times where he's not being annoying because of his memory. It seems to me like, a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy where you're sort of like creating an issue that's not there, maybe because she's tired of dealing with the situations when they are there. But, it's just something I notice, like, and, in them situations, when I see that happen in front of me, I just sort of say things like, there's people out there that haven't got enough food, mum, like, and you're now moaning and snapping at him over something that is minor, because it was minor, the actual thing at the time. But that's just me. It's just an observation at the end of the day. And as I say, I'm sure it is quite frustrating for my mum dealing with my dad's memory issues on a day-to-day basis, what we don't see, as well as dealing with our own issues. They are both very old, but I'm just grateful that they're still alive and they're still, fighting fit for the most part. I was talking to my dad about the exercises that the doctors have advised him to do for his back, and he's just not interested. And he's one of those guys where you can't really push him. Do you know what I mean? And I will continue to sort of preach about how I've found that, exercising every day in my day-to-day life has been hugely beneficial. And, I sort of preach to him in a way and say that, you're a man, so it's your duty to keep yourself as strong as you can. And, regardless of how old you are. But, I'm not going to push him too much. Like, if he doesn't want to do it, then he doesn't want to do it. But to be fair to him, he does walk around the shop every morning and get the papers and stuff. He is still very sort of mobile. He's always getting up to go and make tea and whatnot, even when he is at home, practically sitting down doing nothing. So it could be a whole lot worse. And it was just cool to spend time with my parents, and there wasn't any signs of him being miserable like there has been in the past, because it's probably frustrating for him, sort of coming to terms with or not the fact that he's losing his memory. But we did notice, actually, there was one point when we were in, because we took him out for a meal, we took mum and dad out for a meal, and we was in this restaurant we've never been in before, and then he just went through this sort of 5 minutes or so where he was saying how he used to live at this certain address 10 years ago, when he actually lived there 50 years ago, 60 years ago, like when he was a kid. So he sort of, like forgot the place where he used to live, sort of in outer West London, before they moved up to Northampton. And I've heard and read a lot about people that do suffer with Alzheimer's and dementia and whatnot, where they do literally forget everything but, when they're really young. So like the sort of middle section of their life they forget. So that kind of ties in. And I just sort of said, oh, well, what about, this other area where he'd lived for, where I grew up, sort of thing. And then he just went on to say, oh, that place, that's a shithole, like sort of thing. And then just like the conversation moved on. We didn't get to the point where, I was arguing with him saying that, no, you used to live at the address you're on about 50 years ago. Like, it didn't come to that, because I'm in a position with my dad, when I do see signs of him, like his memory issues, I won't lie to him. Like, I will sit there and I will like correct him, like not in a belittling way, but just out of respect. Like, I'll say to him, like, no, Dad, you've got it wrong because you're losing your memory. Like, this is how it is. Like, not to have an argument, but I just won't sit there and lie and pretend to my dad and like treat him like a child and just like pretend that what he's saying is right when it's not. But we didn't get into that sort of situation. The conversation moved on. But yeah, me and Kat were sort of discussing on the way back home in the car that a lot of the time when people have got these Alzheimer's or dementia issues, it's when you're in places that are not familiar that these things can get triggered, right? So maybe a lot of the time when he's at home, when he is just walking around the shops to get his papers, and then going shopping with my mum to sort of places where they always go to, and just sitting at home, like, that's all familiar. Maybe that's better for him and it won't trigger things off. But then when he goes to somewhere that isn't familiar, like this restaurant that we've never been to before, that could be why he just sort of had that little spell, and it almost triggered a sort of period where he's really confused, and potentially we're like continually correcting him. But as I say, the conversation moved on, and so he kind of got distracted from that. But yeah, as always, really cool to see my parents. Don't do it enough. They live an hour away. I've got a busy life. But yeah, one thing, it's kind of hard to say, but it's true. Like, one thing, I sort of look at my parents, and to be fair, both of them like smoked for most of their lives. They don't smoke anymore, but they've never been particularly healthy. All right, my dad used to be a painter and decorator, so he had a very manual job, so he was always like moving around and stuff. And obviously my mum was an at-home mum, chasing us around or whatever. So it's not like they've done absolutely nothing in their lives. But my dad's never been one to exercise. He won't even do it now, even though he's got back problems and the doctors are telling him that he should do a little bit. And it's just a wonder, really, like, that they are like really still mobile. Like, they're in their late 70s, and they're kind of lucky in a way. But then, the issues they are having, like my dad's memory issues, these things can be prevented. Like, from the things that I study online, if you treat yourself and your body a certain way when you are younger. And I know that I started way too late. I know it's like I'm kind of being a hypocrite because I've spent most of my life being unhealthy, but it makes me think that I am glad now that I am sort of taking creatine supplements every day, which are known to help with your memory and your brain and stuff. And there are studies that have shown that it could, delay or prevent things like dementia and Alzheimer's, which, I might now be genetically prone to because my dad's obviously got issues. Things like going to the gym and keeping yourself stronger, like as you go into middle age, which is where I am, can mean that you might end up being less frail in your later years. As I say, my parents aren't super frail for their age, but maybe me going to the gym and keeping myself fit now will mean that I'll be stronger for longer. So yeah, it kind of puts it in perspective. And part of me does think, if I'm honest, if I sort of try and separate myself from the fact that I'm talking about my parents, just people in general, things like my mum having issues with her knee, things like my dad having issues with his back, you know, maybe things like that can be prevented, or at least put back a little bit in life if you are someone that in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s does do daily exercise. You know, it's all about keeping your body as strong as you can for as long as you can, and your mind as well, you know. And obviously with my lifestyle nowadays, I'm a big advocate of that. But there you go. That's just a couple of thoughts from going to visit my parents. But ultimately, it's awesome to have them around, and it's awesome to go and visit them, and I obviously love them very much. But yeah, right now I do need to go to bed. Tomorrow's Monday, the start of another week. Definitely got to get you know, a bit more busy on the cars and a bit more busy with making videos. You know, the last couple have had quite a gap between them. To be fair, January is a bit rubbish for the advert revenue, and you know, potentially the beginning of February as well, but that's not an excuse. You know, I just want to work as hard as I can, keep creating content, and try and make a go of this weird life that I live as much as I can. And you know what, there's a couple of things in the pipeline sort of thing that potentially I probably should have pulled my finger out with already, but yeah, a couple of ideas, like business ideas, that will hopefully be coming into play very soon. But for now, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to go to bed. I will be back for another video tomorrow for you guys that want to follow me on my day. Until then, as always, feel free to say hello in the comments and we'll have a chat. Or if you want to get in touch with me more privately, discuss your health and fitness or sobriety journey, or whatever else you want to chat about, I've always got time for you guys. Just yeah, drop me a message through Facebook or Instagram if you don't want to chat to me in the comments of this video. But other than that, I'll be back for another video tomorrow, so I'll chat to you then.